father, Henry Nutter, who was born in 1856, learnt to clog dance as a boy. Through him, I know that by 1850, every village had its champion clog dancer, and through the people he knew as a boy, I know that some people were clog dancing in the 1820s. My mother, Sally Nutter, was born in 1899. She and an older brother were taught to dance by my grandfather and other traditional toe and heel dancers. From an early age, she jotted down the steps she learnt, and as an adult, she actively sought out dancers in the locality. She passed on her dancing to me. The style of clog dancing shown in this film comes from East Lancashire. It's a flat-footed style of dancing where the heel is used as much as the toe to make the sound. It seems to have developed into a popular dancing tradition following the Industrial Revolution, which brought people together into factories for the first time. It was danced mainly in the cotton weaving areas, stretching from Blackburn to Colne and reaching beyond the county boundary to Earby in Yorkshire. These early clogs had a thick wooden sole, a thick rim of iron round the edge of the sole, and a stiff leather upper nailed to the side of the clog. But the heavy and loose-fitting clogs tended to slip off at the ankle, so the dancers had to keep their feet flat to the ground, use the heel as much as the toe to make the sounds, and circle their feet outwards as they did so. The first sequence dance is a sailor's hornpipe, which comes from the 1900s at the end of the clog dancing era, when all kinds of novelties proliferated. On the stage, a sailor's outfit would have been worn, but in a club or gathering, a dancer would not have worn a special outfit, and the arm movement would have been enough to indicate that this was a sailor's hornpipe. The musician is playing the melodeon, a popular instrument for those who could afford one, and is playing the tune Portsmouth to emphasise the fact that this is a sailor's hornpipe. The three sequences I've done cover a fairly wide range of the steps, but there are several groups of steps that I've only been able to include perhaps one or two, and the best known of these are the ones that have names that come from weaving. On a cotton loom, you get a couple of picking sticks on either side of the loom, and these throw the shuttle backwards and forwards. And it's this sort of picking movement that gives the name to this group of steps. Right. The simple, basic pick is a picking movement like that. You can do a straightforward one, connecting it with a few steps and going back in the other direction. That's the basic pick. The double pick, done again off the toe, is and then you can do a heel and toe pick. Or you can do a triple with toe, heel, toes. Or you can do a mixed one. In a cotton loom, the warp threads are the threads that run from top to bottom, and they're threaded at the top through something called a heel, and at the bottom through something called a reed. And mostly you have one warp thread, thread it through the heel and thread it through the reed at the bottom. And the heels move up and down. In the plainest type of weaving of all, two heels move up, two move down, alternating all the way along. The shuttle goes through. And a step called the two up and two down is named after this, the plainest type of weaving. Right, I'll just show you this one step. Now, the purpose of the reed is to press the thread down onto the cloth. So the shuttle goes through the space known as a shed, and the reed comes down and presses the thread onto the cloth. So you get the backward and forward movement of the reed, the cross movement of the shuttle. Now, the next group of steps are called the shuttle and the reed and shuttle. The basic shuttle was often done, again, as an ending step, and very often side on to the audience. It's done with a shuffle on one foot and a forward and back sliding on the other. Or you can do this with a heel first and a toe, and if it's done with a slightly different rhythm, it sounds like the rhythm of a cotton loom. Now, that's just the shuttle. The reed, as I mentioned, goes backwards and forwards. The shuttle goes across. Or you can have a mixed step with the reed and the shuttle, the reed and shuttle and the shuttle. Or you can do both these steps using a toe, heel, toe, or side on. Or you can do it again, mixing it. Toe, heel, toe, and shuffles. Or you can do one adding a few more taps. And there is one little step called a reed and shuttle, which is a travel step, but it also includes the pick. steps that have got nothing to do really with the cotton terms, and these are all the pick-up steps. Again, there are quite a number of these, and I'll just demonstrate them. The basic pick-up is done with double, both feet. Or you can start the pick-up on the heel only. Or there's a pick-up followed by a crunch, which makes a sort of train sound. Or you can start the crunch on the toe, crunch off the toe. The steps in the stage clog dance include some steps danced by my great-uncle in the 1870s. The clogs I am wearing are rather special. They were made for me in 1960 by a Mr. Proctor of Briarfield. They are a copy of some he made for a professional dancer in the 1900s. They are fairly flat in the sole, have a squared-off toe, a soft leather upper and a hollowed-out heel inserted with 2 sixpences, which you can just hear jingling in some of the steps. The musician is playing an English concertina, often used to accompany performers, and is playing a tune popular in the 1890s and 1900s, called in some versions the Lowther Arcade, and in others the Tin GG. next sequence is a typical street dance from the 1880s onwards. Although women did not dance much in public, they sometimes danced outside their own front doors. Mostly it was the young men who worked in the mills who performed outside to raise extra money. They selected their dancing pictures where they could get the most audience. They liked to dance at the head of 2 rows of houses, even better if a 3rd row ran along the top. These youths, called corner boys, because they tended to hang around the street corners, where many of them learnt to dance, had their own style of dress. A typical outfit was brown fustian trousers, striped shirt, a navy blue jacket and navy blue waistcoat, a grey soft cap, and a magenta silk scarf knotted round the neck. They tied these to the side, and as they danced, the ends flew out about them. They had their clogs specially made for them, lighter in weight and closer fitting than most men wore. The uppers, which had patterns tooled on them, were fixed to the soles with brass nails instead of the usual steel, and the dancers polished them until they shone. They were considered to be a dandified set, and most boys would not have worn the silk scarf or the fancy clogs. These dancers were often seen at approaches to fairs, or tagging on behind processions, or anywhere where they could get an audience. In the street dance, I am wearing the clothes that would have been worn by a cotton weaver in the 1890s and 1900s. The musicians are playing homemade tommy talkers, which were the usual accompaniment for the street dancers, and are wearing the type of dress the working men of the day would have worn. The First World War took away the young men who were the last of the old toe and heel dancers, and after the war the dancing was not revived. And it was not until the 1960s, when I began to pass on my clog steps, that people showed an interest in learning the old toe and heel style of Lancashire clog dancing.